So they say sometimes that you need money to make money, but actually you need just ideas and execution and the drive to get it going.
What's up, world, and welcome to another episode of the Super Investor Show. My name is Jordan Harry, and I'm extremely proud to bring a project that is tech for good. Right? At the end of the day, we're all here to make money in the blockchain space, but at the same time, we then stay for the technology. And I can confidently say that this gentleman has truly stayed in the space for tech for good. Now, if you're an investor like me, and you know learning from other people's mistakes is better than learning from your own, you're in the right place. And on today's show, we truly do have an investor who's going to teach us an awful lot. As Daniel, the founder of Unchained Elephants, is building something beautiful in Thailand, specifically for the XRP community. Not exclusive, but there are some perks and bonuses. But who better to introduce what he's building over there in the beautiful country than the man himself? So Daniel, welcome up on stage, sir.
Hi, Jordan.
Hey,
thank you so much for having me here.
Likewise. I'm gutted you didn't invite me to Thailand to do the interview, but next time.
Please, anytime, welcome. I mean, that's what we are here for. We are in the tourism industry, and yeah, please, let me know.
Stunning. I'll go tell my fiance now. We'll be there next year.
Oh, you have to come. Now you be the camera, so it's a must.
I was going to say I'm on record.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, Daniel, look, I hope I did you justice, but it's so hard for me with all my guests, but more importantly, you, to really communicate the beautiful work that you're doing. So, Daniel, please tell the audience why you do what you do and exactly what you are doing.
Great. Thank you so much. So, we are developing a project that's called Unchained Elephants. The project aims to rescue elephants that work in the tourism industry and place them in sanctuaries. So that's the NFT project. It's with obviously with elephants, and we want to allocate 40% of the revenue to this cause, and the 60% of the revenue to build a platform where we can actually sell tours and activities where people can buy at a discounted price. Holders will be able to access pretty much wholesale prices for these tours and activities that we are selling here in Phuket and hopefully later on in Thailand.
Remarkable. And I have to ask, why? Because there's so many good causes out there. So why are elephants close to your heart?
Yes, absolutely. So during the pandemic, we got hit, all of us. Like I had a marketing agency, and when 2020 hit, I had to let go around 17 people. But apart from that, I was also living in Phuket, and I saw the situation with these elephants that were struggling to get fed. The elephants were also unemployed, or they were working for the tourism industry, unfortunately. Not all the places are bad. I mean, there were some places that actually take care of them, but the elephants were chained pretty much. They were chained 24/7, and they were in need of food. So I had a friend of mine, which is our partner, our animal activist. She reached out and asked for ideas on how can we raise money, and she was actually doing already a WeWon campaign, so she managed to raise some money. But I mean, it was 1 year and a half almost without tourism here in Thailand. It was pretty.
Wow.
It was an island that lives on tourism, so everything was struggling. We were all struggling. So that's where the idea started. So we actually launched a small pilot project called the XRP Herd, and we managed to raise around 10,000 US, and XRP was 12,000 XRP, which is around that time was 70 cents per XRP last year. But we managed to help 3 camps, one in Pattaya, one in Khao Sok, where she's working, and she's been helping, and one in Phuket as well. So we managed to help in that sense, and that was kind of the validation of the idea. Like, okay, you say like this, there's something here we can actually keep going. So we change the mode and going a little bit more ambitious and something that we really can make an impact to the life of an elephant. And the objective was right now is to rescue them from places where they are doing elephant trekking or animal shows, and place them in sanctuaries, because part of my work with my partner Vicky, she helps an elephant sanctuary in Kaosok. So she has worked with them the past 7 years, 6 7 years, changing the business model from them. So before they were an elephant trekking and they do all the bathing stuff. So now she's helping them to transition to a 100% ethical sanctuary. So yeah, that the idea is to help and to we cannot rescue all the elephants, of course. I mean, as much as we would like to have a massive piece of land where you can have hundreds of elephants, but obviously we can't. So one of the purposes, we want to at least rescue 2 elephants, and then with the travel platform also have a way to educate travelers about the situation, because we believe if we can change the demand, because tourists come here and they want that, they want experience with elephants, and the offer has that to sell, right? So if we can actually change the demand, we can change the offer and actually have a better impact to the whole industry in general.
You sure can, Daniel. And for a lot of people, they'll probably wonder, hey, so the pandemic wasn't long ago. So how long have you been saving elephants for now? And more importantly, what's the future looking like?
So I've been involved with the elephants already 1.5 years, more or less. I haven't saved any elephants yet. We're going to save a few of them, hopefully in the next few months. And yeah, that's part of the question. That part of the question.
What does the future look like?
Okay, the future looks great. I mean, we are on an island where we get fed with tourism. I mean, tourism is coming here. That's the main industry here in Phuket. So we are developing this platform where we can offer bookings at a wholesale price for NFT holders. So if you're coming to Phuket and you have this, you will have a really good discount on your, not only visiting the elephants, but visiting doing other activities. So the idea is have that business model behind the NFT project, that we can actually get an extra. I mean, okay.
Utility?
An extra. Yes, correct. That's correct.
That's remarkable. And I love how only now have we talked about utility, right? Because for NFTs, as we know, the stereotype is they're just a JPEG. Yet, Daniel, I think people really understand that this is way more than a picture.
Correct, yes.
Of course, they look great and they speak to the XRP community, but I don't know, and I'm not deep in the NFT space, but I think it's going to be hard to find another NFT that can compete with you in terms of a real world experience. And it's going to be a trend where people are going to copy you in a good way, right?
That'd be amazing. I mean, if people can copy and do something that is good and have a positive impact, it's like, oh, I mean, how can I help them actually? I mean, and that would be that'd be amazing if somebody else copy what we're doing. There are other projects that are doing something similar as well, donating percentage of the fees, but we want to go a little bit deeper and really offer the value based on what you come here to Phuket and you want to go surfing. I mean, there are surf schools that we can get you for a better price, so you can actually save some money and have an impact on with elephants. And who knows? The idea also is not just to look into elephants. Maybe it could be something else. I mean, our partner also was involved with dolphins, helping with dolphins in Japan. So could be dolphins. I mean, there's so many causes that we can actually really impact and help. I think it's amazing. One other thing actually that you mentioned about bringing all the type of investors and utility, we actually launched a collection back in November for the World Cup, and unfortunately it was not really well received because we don't offer any gaming, staking, or metaverse in our terms, and that's not really what actually right now the investors are really interested on investing. So we are changing the market. We are who are we're approaching, and it's pretty much travelers that are coming to Phuket. So, and animal lovers. That's our new market.
And that's beautiful, because at the end of the day, everyone isn't your audience, everyone isn't your customer, right? And whilst those people will say no, the people who do believe in what you're doing will be your biggest fans, right? And I know
Correct.
you have a very loyal and supportive community who want to know more about you, as to do I. So as always, Daniel, I ask two questions on the show.
Sure.
One is not as exciting as the other one, purely because it's always exciting knowing about your weakness. But we'll start with your superpower. So, as an investor, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you've had a long history. I've done my LinkedIn research on you. Over
Thank
the
you.
many years of investing as a business owner, as an employee, and of course now being in the NFT space, what would you say is your one superpower?
My one superpower, I think, is finding trends before they really hit, like the mainstream. Like I back in the day, I actually got a scholarship to do an MBA in hotel management in Phuket. That's why I end up in Thailand. So they pay everything for me, and well, part of my thesis and my program was developing e-services and marketing strategies for hospitality businesses. So, and that time I was doing all the booking system for restaurants, and that was kind of trendy. That was 2010, and that was the I mean, I saw the idea, the concept, and like that was brilliant. So I was trying to replicate that here, but I mean, that was my first attempt to develop a business, and here in Thailand, and didn't work out that well. But then I also, after that, I started doing marketing agency in 2013, 2013. And it was funny because I was approaching different business owners, and I was saying, yeah, I can take care of your Facebook, and I do Facebook ads, and this and that. And then they were laughing at me like, yeah, Facebook is for kids. Like, I mean, we are in a small island. I was looking at what's happening in the other on other countries, and where the trend's going. And yeah, it's like, okay, this is something that there's something here.
Yeah.
Maybe not people, many people will see it, but I think I have to stick it and go with it, and actually pay off pretty well. That the business, we managed to have up to 20 people working in the company in Phuket. I mean, it was fun to offer jobs and grow the company. We have different clients until the pandemic.
Yeah.
But then that's when I got into crypto, and it was the technology is really mind blowing. So I started learning more about NFTs, and definitely this is a trend that is going to hit in the next 2 or 3 years, and it's going to be big.
And Daniel, thank you for sharing what's the highs and the lows, right? And I recently watched a great video that said if you think of your life as a heart rate monitor, it's up and down, up and down. So the highs are really high, when things are going good, they're really good. And I'm sure the pandemic was one of those very low moments. And if your life is flat, well, you're dead. And so you constantly go through life with these highs and lows, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
what's kept you going, Daniel? Because here we are. I'm not going to ask your age, but you are
Okay.
someone who is seasoned. What keeps you going?
Okay, I'm 40. I don't mind. I'm going to say it. What keeps me going? I think it's the drive to do something different for me and my family. Like I want to provide as a business owner. I never. I mean, I was working for somebody else, and it was hard for me to work for anyway for someone else. Like I think I can do it on my own, and I will do it on my own. I mean, I have big up and downs. But yeah, well, that's what keeps me going. I mean, providing for my family in a different way, not in the same like the job.
Yeah.
Not yeah, pretty much.
And you look good for 40.
Thank you.
You look good for
I
40,
look,
and
I do a lot of surfing and trying to get in the water, like do
that's
that
right.
type of sports.
It's not just for show.
No, no. Actually, funny enough, I opened up in 2021. I managed to make some money with XRP just before when they were doing the snapshot for the flare airdrop. So I collect some profits, and I open a surf shop called
Nice.
Ripple Surf Thailand.
I saw that.
So yeah, So actually, if anyone goes to Ripple Surf Thailand, we sell some surfboards with the brand Ripple. I actually bought a container of surfboards from Bali, and yeah, I like surfing or water activities, and that's why it kept me. I'm still here in Phuket, and that's why I haven't gone anywhere
That's
else.
beautiful. That is so
Yeah.
beautiful. There was a question previously which I was going to ask, but I think that's so beautiful how you brought your passion and your profession together, and that's what's kept you going so long. Like you say, you want to provide, you want to do something different, but that's something that is for good. Um, my question to you, Daniel, is for people who right now, when a bear market, prices are low. You even said, hey, it's going to take years for NFTs. And of course, I know you can't time the market. But have there been a time where, not that you went to zero, but where, things were bad, things were low. And looking back now at those low points, what kept you going?
Many times I have been down many times, and because business owners it's hard. I mean, especially also in Thailand. So is the drive like not giving up? I mean, like you're not done until you really push forward and get it right. So and there's so many times that yeah I've been broke as well, like absolutely broke. And one time actually was 2010. I was here in Thailand. I was working for some companies. I mean, I left the companies, and at some point I was absolutely broke. I had $6 in my account,
Wow.
and he was like calling my father, say, "Hey, can you book me a ticket back to Ecuador because I'm from South America and
Bonito.
all over the world?" And is that, or I stay here and I do something and I kind of turn it around. So I managed to stay here in Phuket with a friend of mine. We put up a service school with literally no money. Like we had no money. I mean, he had to ask money to go by for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But then we put together a service school and we managed to turn around 350,000 baht, which is around $10,000 in 1 month.
Wow.
So that was like,
Yeah.
so they say sometimes that you need money to make money, but actually you need just ideas and execution and the drive to get it going. So that was something that will make you.
Thank you for sharing that, Daniel. Thank you for sharing that, because there's either an investor watching right now who is going through a tough period. Maybe they owe money, maybe they have lost a job, and they want to keep investing and they believe in this space. But right now on the 6th of Feb, I know we're recording this beforehand, but right now on the 6th of February 2023, it's hard for them to see 2 years, right? 2 years feels like a long way away. And it is. And I hear how you talk about what you've done, and time is your ally. Would you say that is wise?
Yes, I mean, yes and no. You have to kind of move fast, but also think forward, like have that long-term vision. Because if you just aim for a quick return and trying to make things fast, I mean, if you do it and you can maintain that, that's awesome. But yes, it's hard for an investor like to just try to make a quick return. Yeah, it has to be a couple of years.
It does. It does. And that will probably discourage some people. And maybe for good reason, Daniel, because if people are watching this expecting, like I used to at one point, that, hey, XRP will take off tomorrow, and it might. Maybe it just did. Who knows? But then when you set your expectations a little bit longer term, now you can start planning, like you just said. Life still continues, right? You have a family. You have to be aware that your cryptos will do whatever they do, but you have to take care of the
Oh
real
yeah,
world.
that's true.
That's right. That's
Yeah, I
right.
mean, it's crucial to work on a day to day. I mean, and keep building something that not all depend on crypto. Because if you just depend on crypto, then yeah, in the bull market it's possible, but it comes fast and it can go pretty fast as well. So building up something that can generate some cash flows and keep you going for the during low times, and then in the good times double down the investment. So when in different aspects, right? So no, I mean talking about not just crypto, but I mean during when crypto went up, also we opened up my wife opened up a marketplace for coffee. So that's another business that right now, just after 1.5 years, is actually making some money.
Whoa,
Like,
good luck to
so
her.
yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, that's
That's
two
beautiful.
different things like that.
But look at that cycle, right? You invested a year and a half ago when crypto was good, built the business, and then a year and a half later, crypto's doing bad, but now her business is bringing in cash flow. And it's
Correct.
all cycles. Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has to be like, you have to think in the long term, even if sometimes might not look right at some point, but keep committed to the objectives, and keep building different things. Like,
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. That spoke a lot to me. So I hate to move on, but I'm conscious of time. And this is my most interesting question, purely because, and you've already been vulnerable, but over the years as an investor, like I said, you've made some great wins and a lot of learning lessons. What's been one of your biggest weaknesses? And maybe today it still is.
So I thought about that, and I think I'm sometimes I have I'm not that data driven. I'm more like gut feeling, like, and it's good and it's bad. So it's good because you have to have that feeling that to get going. But sometimes if you don't see the data, you're kind of blindly going because you have that motivation. Then the data, yeah, you can compete with data sometimes, even though, yeah, the gut feeling is pushing. So I think the weakness is just going with my gut feeling sometimes, and trying to do many things, and sometimes I get a bit diluted, and instead of just kind of like focusing
You know, that's
less.
one thing which I think every investor that's come on the show, every investor we know, is emotions, good and bad emotions, right? Um, One thing I did yesterday was now every month, once a month, I have 10 rules, and I may add to my rules, but I now make sure I read those rules once a month. As in, don't invest when you're emotional. Take 24 hours before you make a new investment. You can't learn experience. You know, all the basics. But what happens is we forget the basics, right?
Yeah.
What do you do then to make sure you check that gut feeling? Do you speak to your wife? Do you have another way to check?
Well, yeah, my wife, she has been such a pillar for me, because we work together and we bounce a lot of ideas, and yeah, she's definitely the person I go and check. Sometimes she goes along with my ideas, and might be a bit crazy, but she just go along with it. But they sometimes they pull off in a big way. So that was it. Yeah, my wife is one, and then sports, trying to get out and do some outdoor sport. Like, I do paddleboarding as well when there are no waves, and trying to kind of like get out of the internet, or just of social media. Just be an outdoor, and enjoy nature. Just time with my son as well, playing with him, kind of disconnecting, like disconnect from whatever is happening.
And it's something which I'm working on more, right? I mentioned to you before this, you know, we're moving, we're preparing to have a family, and there's that balance, right? Where, you know, being behind a laptop, or maybe in your case, sometimes it isn't behind a laptop, but working allows you to provide for the family over here. But then how do you find that balance? And one thing I'm doing, and I'd love to hear how you're finding that balance, Daniel, is I'm waking up earlier and I'm doing work before everyone wakes up. And then I stay up later and I work whilst everyone's sleeping. How are you finding the balance between building another business, but also spending time with your family?
How do I find balance?
And that's if you found balance.
Yes, I mean, I think I prioritize the weekends are mainly for family. I don't have a routine like waking up and doing this and then that. It depends. Sometimes actually the waves might be good in the afternoon. So like, okay, sorry, I'm calling it off. I'm going for a surf and I come back. So it is in that sense, it's not that organized. But yeah, I mean, trying to disconnect whenever possible, and it's hard, but you have to.
I think maybe the better question, whilst you were answering that, was when you are disconnected, you're present, right, Daniel? You're not thinking on. You're trying not to think about work when you're with your son. Was that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, do you do an exit? And the reason why I ask is just because, again, selfishly, and I know people will help. When you finish work, do you try to make sure you change clothes, or you make sure you work in a different room so that it's never, coming and crossing into personal life? Do you do anything like that?
Not really. I mean, because with my wife, we also discuss a lot about work all the time. I think it's also I love business, and I love it's part of us. So it doesn't really matter even if we're at night and then suddenly there's an idea like, oh, what do you think about that? So we don't have that disconnection
Yeah.
because I think I love it so much that just coming with ideas and coming up with different things and trying to improve can really disconnect. But at the same time, you have to kind of focus on okay, like be present on what you're doing with them, and yeah, that's the way to disconnect. Just being present on what you who you are and what you're doing at that time.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I think that's the key takeaway, right? Is when you are working, you're working. And when you're not, try your hardest to be in that moment, regardless of where you are.
Correct. Yeah.
Ah, that's beautiful. Look, Daniel, I know we're running up on time, and I hope the waves aren't good because you're here with me. But I always love to give this chance of the show to the guests, right? To promote, to tell people how they can support. So, if there was one way for people to support you or a call to action, what would that call to action be, Daniel?
Right now, if you can help us by just going to our Twitter account or Instagram and following us, getting engaging with all the posts or comments that we send over there, and telling friends and family that these are different cause. So we ideally we want to bring in on board not only crypto people, but we want to invite people that are more into the NFT space and Web3 ones, but people that are not technical users. So we can have those elements involved and hopefully bring more people and let's do an impact.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it goes without saying, if you're watching this on Twitter, hey, well, he'll be tagged. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the links will be down below to follow Daniel and Unchained Elephants. And my little ask is please subscribe. Why? Because we can bring more exciting guests like Daniel on. So hit that subscribe button, follow Daniel's journey. And I said, look, next year I'll be out there and we'll do an interview in person. How does that sound?
That's awesome. I mean, I will show you here Phuket and take you around the elephant sanctuaries. You can go for a water activity. Definitely. I mean, I'm counting on your word.
Yes, yes, yes.
Looking for you
Hey,
here.
I'd come out sooner, but the missus would kill me because we've got a wedding and a stag do and a
Yeah.
hen do and a
Well,
moving.
yeah, that's a whole business itself there.
It is, it is. But once this business is sorted, we'll be out there, Daniel. So it goes without
Awesome.
saying, thank you, sir. Be sure to hang around afterwards.
Thanks so much.
Brilliant. Ciao
Cheers.
for now, everyone at home.